Welcome to the Rude Dude Cast. Rude Cast!
Cast episode 179. Jesus Christ, Mike Terry, say the Rude Dude Cast really loud. Redo the intro better than I did.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Rude Dude Cast episode 179. We're here every Wednesday around 1-ish, a little earlier today because we are feeling frisky.
That's right. That's right.
And we figure we're going to do our bullshit in the beginning. So while everybody comes into the chat.
Yes.
We're just hanging out. If you want to, if you just joined us for the first time, we are a podcast going on for about 5 years or so, talking about the latest, the greatest, the worst, and the hearst. That doesn't make any sense. In pro wrestling, video games, comic books, TV shows, regular books, streaming services, pop culture.
Everything.
Farming, terrace farming.
Yep.
All sorts of things.
Agriculture.
Basically, how your Twitch works, how things going wrong in your life.
Technical difficulties.
Today,
psychological problems.
There we go. But we here are just two friends, sometimes three friends, just bullshitting, catching up what's going on since the last week, since we hung out all together, and just talking about pop culture shit, what we've been up to, talking about life, dropping some news. By no means are we a news service. We just repeat what we hear. So now we're just hanging out, and we've been doing this for a little bit now since quarantine's back, and we're happy to be back here hanging out with y'all today on a beautiful Wednesday here in where I am in Long Island, New York, and it's quite lovely. I won't be here for much longer, though, Daniel.
You're leaving, aren't you?
I am. We signed a lease.
Hey, there you go.
Moving back to the motherland.
That's right. That's right.
Moving back to our home county in Lower New York. Super excited. It's exciting, man. Exciting weekend. Did you do anything for Memorial Day?
No, I was. What was Memorial Day? Yesterday? Nah, I just streamed.
The weekend
I just hung
itself.
out. No, not really. I just hung out.
Did you stream anything good?
No. There's it's a big the big game lull of 2020 right now. So before all
Wouldn't
the
this
new
be
shit.
like a great time though for like independent things on Steam to be picking up, some Steam, I guess. There's a better term.
There's a lot of shit. There is a lot of shit coming out. Just none of it appeals to me. You know what I mean? It's the older I get, the further away the video game industry gets from my interests. You know what I mean? Like,
oh well, yeah.
Well, because
that's like me. I've kind of peaked at like PlayStation too.
Like for me, what it is for me. Like I love the modern era of games, but it's like as I'm getting older. The more the games are becoming like everything that comes out now is like it's so rare to find like a fucking great single player game. Like they still come out, but there's only like one or two or three really good like single player games that come out a year. Everything else is like what's called like a games of service or a live service, right? Where it's there's a seasonal thing where it's like everything is Christmas themed in the wintertime and everything's Easter themed in the fucking spring and everything's fucking 4th of July themed in July, you know what I mean? And it's like there's more shit for you to buy in the game based off of the seasonal shit that's, you know what I mean? And they just try to keep the game changing to whatever the current time of year is to keep you playing the game forever and spending more money on it.
You know what I just kind of found that I've kind of been into? Do you remember the series Rayman?
Yes.
So I used to love Rayman. I think I had it for Sega Saturn. And they came out with a mobile game that's kind of like almost like a temple run sort of game. It's called Rayman Adventures.
Yeah, like
it's
a
made
runner.
It's made by where is it? Let me pop it up here. I mean, it is Twitch, so let's see here. It is made by Ubisoft. And no thanks, I don't want to rate the game. But it's called Rayman Adventures, and it's kind of like, if you're looking at it, it's kind of like a side scroller, slash
Okay.
running style of game, where like like a temple run kind of game.
Yeah.
But it's really not. It's got some more like controllability to it. But basically, you could do like a lot of different things in it in the game. And dude, it looks great. The sound is great.
That does look really good.
It's actually a lot of fun. Besides like how it's tries to make me do all this shit. But so if I was just gonna run to start,
Dude,
it's kind of a
really
running
good.
game. But you could do a lot of different things, and it's not just like a running. It's kind of like a side scroller with like mystery shit.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't. It doesn't. It forces you to move constantly, but you don't have to go in. You can go any direction you want, and there's like different tips and tricks. You can slide down and slam. Anyway, I kind of fell back in love with like that. I used to love that game, and it was just like a classic. It was their answer to whatever the side scroller of the day was back then.
Okay, yeah. You know what blows my mind is like that, like I think like one of the biggest like accomplishments in mobile gaming, like, and I don't pay much attention to mobile gaming, so I don't know like what the latest is, but like I think it's so fucking crazy that like Fortnite exists on mobile and it's the full game and you can cross play with people on console or PC. Like that still blows my mind. You know what I mean? It's wild shit.
Oh yeah, it's a great game. Anyway, what's real quick? I know people are just funneling in. What's up to everybody in the chat right now? I see somebody's asking about how old do you have to be on Spotify as a listener or a user. I don't think there's any.
I don't think there's any age restrictions.
Age restrictions. I think you were asking because we play music before the show starts.
Oh.
That is our licensed music. Dan has written it. So we can play kind of whatever music we want when it comes to stuff that we've written. I play in a band, so we play music. We have stuff on Spotify. If you're trying to put stuff on Spotify, you can.
Anyone can put stuff on Spotify. It's just an enormous pain in the ass.
Yeah, you got to use a service like TuneCore or something like that. There's plenty of services out there. DistroKid.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to be a member, you don't have to pay anything. It's free. But
Spotify Premium, I'm not going to shill myself out for Spotify.
I pay for it.
I got premium. I do. Just so
for years I was so against it, and then I had what's it called? I had all my music on iTunes. And then I stopped putting music on my phone because I got a phone that can like handle doing a lot of things.
Sure.
And so I was like, fuck it. Like I like to find new music. I'm willing to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's $10. It's whatever. It's not
like
it's
the reason I caved and got it. No, like before I started streaming, I didn't. I just kind of like dealt with the ads. But like when I was streaming, I would like if I'm depending on what game I'm playing. Like if I'm just playing some like mindless multiplayer game, I'll throw on like Spotify in the background. You know what I mean? And I just got so sick of like hearing ads while I was playing a video game, and for like my viewers.
I never had what's it called? I never had Spotify with ads. Like I've never not paid for it. So how often do the ads pop up?
It varies. Like sometimes you will get like an ad after every couple of songs, sometimes less, you know what I mean?
And you can't choose what you listen to, right? Or is it just like
on mobile? Like on mobile you can't choose. It's shuffle. On desktop you can listen to whatever you want.
That's kind of cool, but kind of annoying also because I listen to most things mobilely.
Right.
I'm on the go.
Yeah. So, well, on the go, they give you the option. Like I used to have it without premium, like when I would walk all the time, and that's when I would listen to it mostly on mobile. And like, what's cool about that
is, you gave up on walking?
It got cold out, and now I'm gonna start.
Nice now.
Now I know I got no excuses. I'm out of.
Dude, I've been hiking.
Hiking
through the woods.
Yeah.
I got like trail apps on my phone, so you don't get lost.
Yeah.
And I just either with music or without, it just basically you should get back into it, especially where you live. There's plenty of places to hike.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start walking again. I used to walk like 5 fucking miles a day. I lost like 20 pounds in a couple of weeks. It was crazy.
Nice.
So yeah, what's up?
No, continue. Sorry.
I was just waiting for the weather to get nicer, and now it's nice. So now I just got to start again. But
talk about Spotify.
Right, Spotify Premium. Before I got Spotify Premium, I would walk, and on mobile, they would give you the option to like listen to a big block of ads to have like ad-free music for like a half hour.
Okay, so like the radio.
Yeah.
Much.
Yeah.
Talking about Spotify, because I know that you listen to music while you're gaming. I made you a Spotify playlist last
Oh
week.
yeah, I just gotta link it on my PC. I still have it. I just gotta actually like put it in my Spotify. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good. I'm going
the
to send it
program.
to the chat too. So if the chat wants
Yep.
to join in on listening to any of that stuff, I sent my Spotify playlist. I made specifically for Dan's gaming, based off of things that I've heard him listening to in the background while gaming. I would put it on shuffle. I didn't like shuffle it around.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
Like, it's not like I made it for a girl that I was fancying and put a lot of thought into like which order the songs went in.
Yeah. Mike
You remember
Terry's
that? Did you ever make a mixtape for a girl?
begrudgingly. Yes.
What does that mean, begrudgingly?
Uh,
Like I know what begrudgingly means, but like, who forced you into making a mixtape?
like an 8th grade girlfriend.
Okay, so you made it like an actual CD.
Yeah. And then like and then after that, like I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? 'Cause I just kind of thought the idea was like weird. You know what I mean?
How much Slipknot did you put on there?
Probably like half of it.
It was like
That's why it's
half
yeah, dude.
Slipknot?
And that's why it was weird because like as an 8th grader, I was listening to like you said like Slipknot and shit like that.
You were listening to a lot of stuff that most people like were starting to listen to, but you were like definitely ahead of the curve when it came to like heavy music.
Yeah. And so like
And it's also not like you were like into like girls that were into the scene at that point. You
no,
were,
there
into
like girls
whatever.
like that didn't exist in our high school. You know what I mean?
In our school, there wasn't many.
Nah, dude.
I wouldn't
There
say there was the four girls that we were friends with that were in my grade. You know, like,
right.
you know, but like other than them, like there was like no girls that for the most part. You know?
Yeah. So
we
like
have a pretty small school. There's only like 500 kids in the whole school.
oh
maybe
yeah, it's
less.
tiny. There was like
Less.
109 kids in my grade.
There was 105 in mine. So
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, so
so
figure less than 450.
I think this girl, this might have been my first ever girlfriend that I had. You know, like your first like 2-day relationship, then they break up. You break
Wait,
up after
I think
2
I
days.
remember who it was.
I don't want
It's
to talk
either
about
name
it.
start with an N or the name starts with an A.
A.
Dude, it was 20 years ago. So was it Ashley?
Yes.
I didn't give a last name.
No last names.
No, that doesn't matter. At 20 years ago? Who cares? Longer than 20 years ago. Probably longer.
All right, so okay, so we'll just say it was Ashley Abercrombie, okay, because
Okay,
that
yeah.
like that's the kind of person it was, right? Somebody named
Yeah.
fucking Ashley. She didn't like Slipknot. She was in 8th grade, and fucking so. So
It's also like 1999, right?
yes, dude.
Yeah. Or 2000.
Oh
Were
shit!
you
Also,
2000?
yeah, the 2000, yeah, 99, 2000. Also, YT Clouds, thanks for the host, buddy. So yeah, so this kid, it's she's like, make me a mixtape CD or mix CD, and I'm like, okay. It's like,
This is like at the height
Slipknot.
of CD. This is like at the height of CD burning though, where it went from taking like as long as the songs were to like it would be quicker.
Oh yeah, it took
Like
forever.
you remember, like I remember in 1995, 96 when you made a mix CD, like it took forever. It was however long, if not longer, was the songs. By like 99, 2000, the mix CD was just before like pirating was like huge. So like the mix CD was like all about like being faster. Like, oh, I just burned the CD. It only took fucking 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
And so after that, fucking, I just then like my first like serious girlfriend like in high school, I probably tried to make her a CD and she probably told me it was dog shit.
Right.
So then after that, I didn't make any more mix CDs for people.
I failed once real bad at it. So there was this girl like I was dating for like a little bit, like, it was the beginning of us hanging out, and I made her a mix CD, and her name was Kaylee, and I put a song on there that was sorry, I got distracted. I have AEW Dark in the background from last night.
Nice.
And two people who you wouldn't think were having a great match are having a phenomenal match.
Really?
Right now. Yeah, Brandon Cutler versus Michael Nakazawa.
Oh, that's the bald dude that's like 0-12.
Yeah, and Michael Nakazawa is the guy with the baby oil.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's really fucking bloody, and it's ridiculous for AEW Dark. So anyway, so I made her a mix. I had a song by Unwritten Law on there called Kaylin.
I know that song.
Yeah, it's about his daughter, but it sounds like it's about a girl. and so I made it for her. I was like, here you go. And like, she's totally not punk at all. Like, this girl was like maybe she's
Right.
into like Newfound Glory or something like that. She was an Abercrombie kind of girl.
Yeah.
And she just like was so disappointed because she's like, "Do you think you're the first guy to make me a mix CD with that song on it?" And I was like, oh,
Oof.
oh.
It goes probably because that's the only song named after her.
Or like not even named after her, but close to her name.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit, dude.
Shit.
Rough.
Shit indeed. All right, well, we've been talking about bullshit for about 15 minutes or so. You got any? We started with video games. You got any video game news? Anything going on?
Dude, not really. I think there was supposed to be some kind of Last of Us thing coming out today. Trailer, gameplay. I don't know. Let me see if it's up. I haven't watched it if it's out. I don't think so. I don't think there's any gaming news today. If there is, it hasn't hit yet, and it's coming later.
Cool.
Yeah, nothing crazy going on that I know of. I guess there was some kind of Fast and Furious Crossroads gameplay trailer that was released. Nothing cool, dude. Nothing cool. Oh, I guess we got some news that there was gonna be coverage for what would have been E3. Basically, is
E3 Super Show.
Yes, there is.
Actually, it's funny. I was listening to all of our old commercials on our SoundCloud.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff.
There's some good ones on there. So E3 was supposed to be when?
So E3 was supposed to be like the second week of June, and I guess IGN announced that they're doing like a huge thing that is basically going to replace E3.
Okay.
And it's going to take place on the 5th, the 8th, and the 9th, and it's just going to be a buttload of game trailers and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. That we're getting at least something that week. That obviously it's not going to make up for the lack of E3, but we're going to get a shitload of trailers that week, so that'll be cool. So that's pretty much the only gaming news for today that I can see. Other than that, there's really nothing for games.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yo, so all right, lay it on me then. Lay it on me.
What's up?
We're in the world of streaming. Everything is streaming right now. I got a bunch of news, but tell me. It dropped this weekend on Netflix. I saw it back in December. Mm-hmm. Give me your fine review of Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. If you don't know,
spoilers ahead.
Full spoilers are ahead for Uncut Gems. If you haven't seen it, and don't know what it is the Adam Sandler movie where he is his first non-comedy movie.
No, he's been.
I know. I'm just kidding.
A couple other ones like Spanglish and shit.
His first actual movie. I don't know, man. Listen, Uncut Gems.
So give a synopsis what it's about.
Okay, so he's a jeweler, and he's a New York jeweler, and never mind. I'm not going to say that.
No, he's a super New York Jewish jeweler.
Yes.
Yeah, you could say that.
So I was going to make a bad joke. I was going to turn it into a joke, and then I was like, it's racist.
Ah, okay.
No, not a good joke. It was a bad joke. So anyway, so he gets his hands on a galaxy, a black opal, or some people call it a galaxy opal, which is a gem.
Is it a real gem? It's based off a true story.
I didn't know it was based off a real story, but that is a real gem.
Somewhat of a true story.
So basically what happens is it's this rare gem from Ethiopia that he got for $100K, and he was trying to sell it off in an auction for $1 million. Well, Kevin Garnett, just by happenstance, Kevin Garnett, the former Boston Celtics player,
who is great in this movie. He was a great actor.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy?
He's playing himself.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of Kevin Garnett interviews and stuff, and that's just him being him. But I mean, he did act. He did act quite well. The scene where he became obsessed with the fucking opal, and he crashed through the glass, his gaze, he was really locked in. That was some pretty good acting.
It's also weird, man, especially after watching all the Last Dance shit with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
When you see basketball players on TV or movies with regular sized humans, it's scary looking.
He's a big motherfucking man.
Pro wrestlers are big because they're thick and tall. But basketball players are almost always 6'4" and above. And and lanky or huge.
Yeah.
And it's just weird seeing them,
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. And so basically Kevin Garnett gets his hands on this stone in the store, and he becomes instantly obsessed with it. He feels like he's got some kind of connection to the stone where he needs it. You know what I mean? He falls in love. And he's like, dude, I need this. Let me buy it off you. And Adam Sandler's like, no. This is up for auction. And Kevin Garnett basically is like, let me borrow it. for the day. So Adam Sandler's like, okay, let me get your championship ring in exchange as, insurance. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Kevin Garnett ditches him with the stone. Doesn't come back. And the whole movie is basically about Adam Sandler trying to get this stone back while also dealing with, collectors from money launderers. Fucking other people that he's tried to swindle over. His fucking wife, his family that's falling apart. His mistress, who's also, cheating on him with a rapper. And it's, all this other shit. This movie is just...
You want to go fuck the weekend?
Fuck
the weekend? Ow! Ow! Sorry, my Adam Sandler turned into, Joe Pesci.
You want to go fuck the weekend? I can't do Adam Sandler either.
Dude, so you know what's funny about this movie? So, all right, thumbs up, thumbs down, just real quick. What did you think overall? Because I have a couple opinions about this movie.
I loved it, and I thought it was just as good as I thought it was bad.
Dude, this is why we're friends. I think that the movie sucked, but I think he was great in it. He was so good in it, and I think it was the role for him. And when the Oscars and stuff came out, and everybody's getting things were getting nominated, I was like, he could get nominated for some sort of acting award because it's basically all about him and his frenetic energy. Mm-hmm. The movie should be called Stress.
My God, yeah.
The movie definitely creates this air of anxiety, and you're supposed to it definitely does what it's supposed to do, but not the greatest movie. It's got a 7.5 at IMDb, which I think is great. Rotten Tomatoes the critics gave it 92% fresh, and the audience was 52% rotten on it. Yeah. Which is weird because I feel like this is a very polarizing movie. I feel like you either hate it or you love it, or maybe there are more people like me and you who are kind of thumbs up and thumbs down. It was good but not great. He was good in it, but the whole movie itself was whatever.
I mean, like you said, the movie could have been called Stress. And what I gotta say is, this is the first movie, I didn't shut it off, I finished it, but I almost had to turn it off because I was getting fucking anxious myself watching it.
I was real anxious when we watched it.
Oh, dude, I'm having a fucking panic attack watching this thing. And you know why?
Which is not a good thing at the same time, because the movie's supposed to be like a roller coaster. It's supposed to take you up and down. That's why horror movies work so well, because they scare the shit out of you in the beginning, and then it's a build up to the next scare, and then they bring you up and then bring you down. They give you a little bit of comedy to kind of maybe take the edge off. This movie is just this the whole time. It's just it's so far up there in an energy level.
It's a constant rise of anxiety.
But it's always high. It never dips down.
No, it never. There's always, and so there's a couple of things in the movie that I felt
makes it an uncomfortable watch,
There were opportunities where they could have dialed it down, but they didn't. All right, the Rolex guy, right? Yeah. Those two guys that kept coming after him for the watch, that had no payoff in the end, right?
Right.
The guy was like, hey, this is a fake Rolex you swindled off to me. You know what I mean? That guy had nothing to do with the outcome of the movie.
But he was important to the story in the fact that Adam Sandler's character had shit with everybody, and it wasn't just the situation he was in.
Right.
He had the situation with a bunch.
He had shit with everybody. The movie
is about someone being a degenerate gambler.
Yes.
He was taking a gamble.
I know, and
everything was about his gambling. It was all about his gambling.
I love how it absolutely is, but they never fucking say it. You know what I mean? They're never very clear about that. It's just there. It's just part of who he is, but it's not what it's about.
I mean, it's definitely the story of an addict.
I know.
About him being an addict.
I know, but
100%. He's and it's the reason why all of his relationships around him are crumbling.
I know,
because of his addiction to flipping money or making money. Or doing those things,
But it's so crazy because I don't understand. I didn't it's just usually when something is that big of a plot point in a movie, it's way more present in the narrative, where it's something that they constantly drill into your head that this movie is about an addict. This movie is about an addict. This movie is about an addict. No, there's maybe 2 or 3 instances in the movie where he has these life-altering things that are a consequence of gambling, though. You know what I mean? Where it's he really is a fucking gambler.
I mean, dude, when he gets locked in his trunk at his daughter's dance recital, and then he completely almost fluffs it off.
Right.
Clearly he's an addict.
He's an addict. All right, so big 500-pound elephant in the room. I don't want to necessarily spoil the end of this movie, but what I will say is that the end of this movie is fucking hilarious. I thought it was I I thought the ending was so fucking stupid, but at the same time, I thought it was amazing. You know what I mean? Because I was just like, okay, it builds up to this. It's this big rise. Okay, listen, I hate to use like sex as a metaphor, but like think about it like this. This is a good analogy for this movie.
Okay.
You're on like your first or second date. You know you're getting laid at the end of the date, right?
Like you knew it, like ahead of time. You had discussed it. It was like it was poked about.
There's anxiety and jitters throughout the whole night.
Because you know you're getting laid.
Yes.
Okay.
You have sex. It lasts 30 seconds.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Big rise up, build up in anticipation, and then boom, it's over like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that was what they were going for, and like as quick as
Yeah.
it could be as quick as that.
And like,
And
go ahead.
No. Yeah, you go.
Well, no. I just when I was watching it, I just kind of was like, I almost missed it, and I was like, whoa. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh. As soon as I realized like what had happened, I was like, oh, of course it's gonna end this way. And so like, I'll just say that,
when the ending happened, I really was like, I was actually really surprised, but I don't know why I was surprised. Like
I laughed. I was like, it was like an involuntary reaction because it's this whole build of anxiety, and I'm like, he's free. You know what I mean? I was like, it's over. He's released this curse. You know what I mean?
I guess so.
I don't know. I felt like I was liberated. I felt like the movie was over, and I felt like
Dude,
somebody had me in a submission. Dude,
no rewatch value on this movie at all.
No, I'd never watch it again.
Watch it again.
I felt like I was in a submission hold for fucking 2 hours and 20 minutes, and that's what the end felt like. Was somebody let me out?
Dude, talking about rewatching movies, not to totally change gears, but I mean,
Yeah.
we
Wait,
talked
hold on a
about it
second.
without spoiling it. All right, yeah, hold on. But over the weekend, I was upstate, kind of by like Lake George, New York, and I had no
Sorry about
service. It's all good. I was just telling the listeners that over the weekend I was upstate and had no service, and there was no like Wi-Fi where we were. But when we did get Wi-Fi, I downloaded a couple things on my iPad. So when we, because I'm one of those people who like falls asleep with the TV on. It's like bad. I can fall asleep without it, but I like to watch things before going to bed. It kind of just chills me out. But what did we download? We downloaded some things. I downloaded Night at the Roxbury, which doesn't hold up, and Ace Ventura, which we wound up not watching. But you know what I did download, because you mentioned it last week, and obviously I've seen it a million times, but it turns out that Maggie has never seen the whole thing in full and still didn't, was Back to the Future.
Whoa.
Dude, Back to the Future is one of the best movies ever. And I know everybody talks about it, but like it is so good. And like I didn't maybe because it's on TV a lot, but like the language in that movie, like at the first like 10 minutes, everybody is a bastard or shit. There's a lot of language in that movie, and I was shocked at first. I was like, I don't remember this movie being this vulgar at first.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, Back to the Future's the shit, dude.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I got it here on my notes, but I can't believe I didn't mention it off the top. Today is the debut of HBO Max.
Oh shit,
dude! HBO Max dropped today, and like, fucking, they pulled a major swerve on people.
Okay.
So there was talks about what's it called? I had it here, and I lost it. There was talks of certain movies being part of HBO Max, and certain things not being part of HBO Max.
Okay.
And today, when users who signed up for HBO got like they signed on, they were led to a surprise, man.
Really?
The surprise is that after first being announced back in late 2018, HBO Max has finally arrived today. I'm just reading off this news report. However, one major Warner Brothers IP that fans were told not to expect right away is Harry Potter. But I guess something happened, and as of today, all of the Harry Potters and the Fantastic Beasts movies are on HBO Max.
You're a fucking wizard, Harry.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not the hugest Harry Potter fan.
No, I'm not. I fell asleep during Harry Potter in the movie theater. In the theater, I fell asleep.
So, Basically, the deal was struck in 2016 when NBC Universal acquired the exclusive rights for the Wizarding World property from Warner Bros. At the time, the agreement was considered to be one of the biggest film franchise rights of all time. Although it meant viewers can now enjoy series on Sci-Fi and the USA Network. It also meant that Warner Bros. Media, eventually streaming service, which became HBO Max, was likely to miss out on housing the content. Well, now it was just kept under wraps, and it's pretty exciting thing right now. Anyway, if anybody's interested, beyond Harry Potter, HBO Max is offering a 7-day free trial. So you might be asking yourself, well, what the fuck is on HBO Max? Let me go to my other device because I got news on everything. So let me jump back over here, back into the chat, and boom. HBO Max. The Joker and other movies will now be on HBO Max streaming. So you haven't seen Joker, it's on there. So it debuted, and it basically we have Doctor Who, The Big Bang Theory, Friends. Those series are on there. Man, where the fuck is my other news? So basically, it's going to be broken down by decades on like what's on HBO Max. So we got Joker, Wonder Woman, stuff like that. Downton Abbey, Hellboy, Hobbs and Shaw, the It movies, John Wick movies, Ready or Not, which is a new movie, Shazam, basically the DC universe. Happy Death Day, The Meg, Batman and Robin, all the shitty fucking DC movies, Dark Knight, Fast Five, the Hobbit movies, basically all of the Lord of the Rings series. There's just a ton of fucking shit here. Sherlock Holmes, there's just a ton of stuff. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I'll drop a link in the chat, and we'll drop it up on our Facebook page and stuff like that. You guys can see the whole list. I mean, it's a pretty nice blend of movies that maybe you haven't seen before or haven't seen in a while, and series and shows, including everything else that comes with HBO. I don't know what the starting price is for HBO Max, though. I'm not 100%.
Oh,
sure.
really? It's probably like $15.99.
I would think so.
Because it's so much more than just like HBO stuff,
I'm actually gonna send it to the chat in just a bit, but yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy. I would check it out for a free trial, but I don't know if I need to add another streaming service to my life.
No, I don't. I'm good with just HBO Go and Netflix and fucking. Like, I'm the kind of person that I get like a streaming service when there's something on it that I want to watch. I watch the stuff I want to watch, and then I cancel the service until the
right.
And I do the same thing with like subscription services for games and shit like that too. That's just how I am, though. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like that's what they don't want. That's what they want you to do, is they want you to get the service and then forget that you have it. Get down, please. There you go. They want you to they want you to get it for something specific. And then just be too lazy to cancel it. And
that's probably like, I would say maybe Netflix is like that.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if HBO expects that because they know that people sign up for like new series or returning series.
Yeah. Like Netflix, I is the only one I keep consistently because it's like there's always something at least once or twice a month that like pops up on Netflix that I'm going to watch. So I just kind of keep Netflix just because it's fucking Netflix. Everything else I cancel if I'm not watching anything on it.
Well, also like the price point's pretty good on it.
Yeah. But like certain services like Hulu.
Dude,
right?
I think Hulu is great. I don't have it. I have somebody else's. Like I'm a guest of theirs. And I guess they have the Hulu that has no commercials and you can watch live TV. So it's kind of fucking awesome.
Yeah, Hulu Premium. It's like $14. Or is it more?
Yeah.
I don't know. So like Hulu, I basically like Hulu is great if you don't have cable. Like I have cable, so I don't have a real like necessity for Hulu. But when like The Handmaid's Tale comes out with a new season, I always get it and then I cancel it when it's done. So that's kind of like my routine with shit with subscription services. You know what I mean? So
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
what else?
I mean, I'm just like scrolling on through here. That HBO Max has some pretty awesome shit. Like it looks pretty good. Let's see here if they have any new shit. Beep, 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 beep. I guess they're going to be doing their own shows. I mean, it's deep. It's real deep.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like old favorites of sorts. I don't know how much it is.
I don't know. HBO Max price. Let's see. Price. HBO Max is $14.99 a month.
Yeah, I'm good. That's too much.
Yeah, like if it was the only subscription service that I had, and like I didn't have cable,
Yeah.
ba-boomba, I would,
Ba-binga.
I would fucking have that, you know.
Uh,
But I do have cable and I do have Netflix, so I don't need it, and I have HBO Go, so it's like I don't need it. I don't need it. So what else, Dan? What else do we got? What else? I'm real behind on the news. Like I didn't really experience much this week. All I did, like I said, was watch Uncut Gems and watch The Last Ride. Oh,
I watched The Last Ride. I watched The Last Ride just before.
Can I say one last thing about Uncut Gems that I also just wanted to compare, like a comparison
Sure.
that I just kind of realized talking about HBO. Okay, I feel like this.
Okay.
As like on the fence I am as about the ending of Uncut Gems, I almost just wish that The Sopranos ended that way.
Dude, The Sopranos, I think, try too hard at their end.
They should have just did what Uncut Gems did. It would have been so much better. Anyway.
Oh, yo, this is what I wanted to talk about before we started the show. This it might be a controversial thing to talk about. There's some Avatar 2 news. That's not controversial because nobody really cares. Nobody cares about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Movie theaters are starting to reopen. Maybe. Where
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's like new guidelines. Okay, so the Ghostbusters director, you remember the Ghostbusters movie with all the girls in it?
I never heard of it.
Yeah, you have.
Ghostbusters?
Oh, God.
I don't know. Are you talking about that movie that came out a couple of years ago with the SNL girls?
Yes.
Okay.
So fans of the show who are new and ones that are old, I can't believe Dan brought this back, but Dan has never seen the Ghostbusters. He's never heard of the Ghostbusters, and it's an ongoing thing. Regardless, the Ghostbusters movie that came out a few years ago with, there's a new one coming out with the guys from Stranger Things in it and shit like that. With the original
Carrie
cast.
Coon. Carrie Coon is in
And
it.
Carrie
The
Coon
Leftovers.
is in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard of that.
Okay, well, the old one, not the old one, but the one that came out a few years ago with all the girls from SNL.
Yeah.
The director, Paul Feig. No. Was it Paul Feig? It might have been Paul Feig. Regardless. The director came out and said that they think it was the anti-Hillary movement from when that movie came out is the reason why the movie did so bad, because people were just hating on women in movies. And I wanted to say this: I voted for Hillary. I was very much against Donald Trump. I'm not making this political in any sense at all. But what I'm going to say is this: nobody liked that movie because it was shit. Nobody wanted to see that movie. Nobody was asking for a new Ghostbusters, and if we were, everybody was asking for a Ghostbusters with some of the original cast. It had nothing to do that there was women being the Ghostbusters or that it was remade.
True.
We live in a remade world where things get remade all the time, and we've come to learn that sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. Most of the time it's bad. So when you remake something and change it, it doesn't mean that it's going to suck. But
yeah,
it was just not good, and it had nothing to do with them being women.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I think they could have made a Ghostbusters movie that had an all like female cast and just had it been good.
Yeah,
they could have made a good one.
Yeah, it just wasn't good.
I agree. Like I think, yeah. I
so
agree.
now you're just using politics as an excuse for your shitty movie.
I agree.
So I thought that was interesting, and I was like, this is like an argument article that somebody wrote that he did so that people could start talking about the movie again.
But
he probably lost a ton of money.
For a franchise like Ghostbusters, I think the direction that they're going in with like having like, have you seen the cast pictures for the new movie? Uh-huh. Like they all look very, I don't know when the new Ghostbusters takes place, but it looks very 80s. You know what I mean? Carrie Coon,
I think it takes place though now.
Okay, but they look very much like the cast looks like Stranger Things. You know what I mean? It's got fucking Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things in it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's got the way that they're dressing these characters, they look very retro looking, and it looks like they're going for that 80s vibe with the movie, even if it doesn't take place in the 80s. I don't know. But I think that's what the Ghostbusters needed. I think, like, the new Ghostbusters movie that came out a couple of years ago felt like a bad SNL skit. You know what I'm saying? This seems like it's going to be something that's a little more authentic, right?
Right.
And maybe going to have, like, a Dan Aykroyd cameo or something. I don't know.
No, I think they're all being cameoed in it.
Oh! Isn't one of them dead, though?
Yeah, but they can bring him back as a ghost. It's Ghostbusters. I think his son is directing it or writing it.
He was like a non-essential
Harold
Ghostbuster
Ramis.
anyway.
No, he was essential. They were all essential. He's made Egon.
True. Good point.
What do you mean true? You never even heard of it. Okay, back to the movie theaters opening up because we're big movie theater people. This is from Cinema Blend. With some movie theaters reopening this week, here's what's changing with new safety guidelines. Different parts of the country are reopening business at different speeds, so every place is a little different. However, for the most part, reopening is taking place everywhere. Businesses seen as being less risky are getting the okay first, followed by those seen as greater risk. This means that places where crowds are virtually certain, like movie theaters, are some of the last places opening. However, some theaters are now beginning the process. So in Florida, of course, Florida-based iPic theaters, which iPic is like a fancy-ass theater. There was a couple in New York, one right by Dan's house, and it fucking closed down because it's fucking a shitty theater. It's a shitty theater.
Yeah.
But basically, Florida iPic Theater has announced that its 14 theaters will reopen soon. The two of the regional chains in Texas locations opening June 4th and another in 14th. AMC and Regal are also looking to open up. It looks like the biggest items that the theaters will be kind of hitting will be only being open 4 days a week.
Interesting.
So movie theaters will be open Thursday through Sunday. The other 3 days, the theater will be closed to allow for extensive cleaning, which I think is stupid. I think just right off the bat, if you're going to open up a movie theater and you want to be open 4 days a week, then be open every other day. So then you'd be open Monday, clean Tuesday, open Wednesday, clean Thursday, open Friday and Saturday, and then it's Sunday or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, or open like every other day makes more sense because then you can clean in between.
Yeah, I think it's just no matter what way they cut it, it's stupid because it's like, okay, so just because they close down a day to clean or whatever, like, doesn't change the likelihood that, like, okay, so Monday happened, maybe somebody came in with corona and sneezed all over the sink, so they got to shut down and clean, right? But the likelihood that someone's going to come in on Wednesday after they clean is just as high, so it's like, it doesn't matter. It's like the plexiglass on Raw. You know what I mean? It's like if someone sneezes and the fucking air blows up, it's going to go over the plexiglass anyway. You know what I mean? It's
no,
just
that's
like,
not how it works.
What do you mean that's not how it works? Air travels anywhere.
The air doesn't blow it. It's not airborne.
I thought it was.
No, the coronavirus isn't airborne. It's droplet form. So, like, if I sneeze, and if I sneeze, I have to, like, sneeze on you for you to get it. Like,
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure.
I thought
it's not in the air. It's not like an airborne pandemic.
But they were like, there was a whole thing about it being like you could catch it from 27 feet away and all that shit, like a couple months ago. No. That's why remember when they told everybody that they had to start wearing masks? Because
you're wearing masks because, like, if I'm by you and I cough on you and my droplets get on you, you can get it if you touch your face, or if I cough like into your mouth, like you can't get it from the air.
Okay, I believe you.
I'd have to like sneeze, and my follicles had to be like my.
You'd have to literally sneeze on me.
You'd have to get some of my particles on you.
Okay, sneeze particles. Okay, I mean I believe you. I stopped paying attention to Corona news like in April, so I don't know.
Yeah. I'd have to cough on you. It's not like that. Okay. Which is why, like, you could be outside and around people. Right now, in New York, it's groups of 10 are okay. But you just have to. You could be in a group of 10, but you have to be wearing masks when you're together, and you have to be, 6 feet apart. So we could sit together, me, you, and 8 other people in a circle and hang out as long as we're 6 feet apart.
Weird.
Yeah, that's just the way things are happening. So anyway, 4 days a week, which means theaters will. In addition, the theater will ensure proper social distancing between parties and common areas, including the theaters itself.
Side note, AJ Capone says that the new Ghostbusters movie that's coming out is based and taking place before the one with the girls.
Okay.
And also, he said, this is also just an interesting thing, that he said they're making a new Scarface movie, and it's going to be in L.A., and Michael B. Jordan is Scarface.
I like Michael B. Jordan, and I love Scarface. I don't know if there needs to be another one.
I agree.
Um,
It's like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. We don't need a sequel.
No. Employees of the theater will also be wearing face coverings, and while iPic says encourages guests to do so, it does not appear that it will be required. So that's kind of weird. Although if you are planning to eat popcorn while in the theater, having a mask is only going to do so much, which makes sense. We'll also see plexiglass between the guests and employees at the service counters, and interactions between guests and employees will be at a minimum in general. It's a safe bet that when big national theater chains open, which will likely happen in phases in different parts of the country, the new policies will take likes of AMC and Cinemark will look like this also. At this point, it looks like most theaters aren't looking to reopen until mid to late July anyway. So, I pick just, trying to be cavalier and opening up in fucking June.
Fucking WWE's hopeful that SummerSlam is still going to happen in fucking Boston in front of a crowd.
If any live wrestling does happen, it's not going to be with 20,000 people there.
Hell no. Well, so this is what they're hoping for, apparently, is that, Boston said that they're not going to have any more live events at least until September, right? And so WWE's like thinking about delaying SummerSlam until September or finding another city to host the event where they can have a crowd. So I don't know, dude. Yikes.
Right.
Yikes.
So at this point, theaters aren't opening up to mid-July, although the idea of re-releasing popular movies is being used in some places, and it'll likely be that what theaters focuses on will be before films like Tenet and Mulan are ready to go. Also, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was supposed to be out this week. That didn't happen. And then that's kind of it. It's kind of it.
That's all we got.
That's what I got when it comes to movie theaters opening up. So mid to late July, early July.
Nice.
I got distracted because Penelope Ford came on my screen.
Penelope Ford?
Yeah, I got AEW.
Oh, from AEW. Oh, yeah. She's from AEW.
Yeah, but she's wearing blue jeans, and I've never seen her wear blue jeans before, so my eyes were like, blue jeans?
Yeah.
These are the things that happen when quarantined. So that's all I got for movie news. We used to do a lot of movie news on this show. There's not that many new movies.
It's true,
or they're getting released. They're getting released like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we talk about the cast of Scooby-Doo and who's in the new Scooby-Doo movie? Because it's fucking ridiculous.
Who?
Dude, the Scooby-Doo movie that just dropped on like streaming services has like an all-star studded cast. It's called Scoob, by the way.
Scoob.
So listen to this. Listen to this fucking shit right here. Okay, phone. Do 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 do. Boo 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 boo. Why is it not working?
Who could it be?
Scoob. So Scoob.
Jaden Smith as Scooby Doo.
Who?
Jaden Smith, Will Smith's kid.
Oh God, jeez. He probably plays Scrappy. Okay, Will Forte plays Shaggy. Will Forte, he's from, like...
I know who he is, I just can't think of his face. I just think of, like, all the fucking past cast members of SNL.
Oh, that's
so blurry. I'll just Google him, hold on. I know who Will Forte is.
Not blurry. All right, Will Forte is Shaggy. Blue Falcon is played by Mark
Shaggy?
Wahlberg. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Mark Wahlberg, already these are two big names for a cartoon movie. Mark Wahlberg plays Blue Falcon. Jason Isaacs plays Dick Dastardly. You know who that is?
No.
Jason Isaacs, he was the bad guy who played Hap. Did you watch the OA?
Yes, I love the OA.
He plays the bad guy in the OA. Hap.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he does a lot of voice acting. Gina Rodriguez, she plays Velma. Zac Efron plays Freddy.
Wait, hold on.
Jones.
Who's Hap?
The bad guy. Just go on IMDb and look up the Scooby-Doo thing so you can look along with me. It's just called Scoob.
Okay, who's playing Velma?
Gina Rodriguez, which I know the name and I kind of know her face, but I don't know what she's really in other than Deep Water. She's in Annihilation, and that's what I caught wearing. Big Mouth. She's a voice in Big Mouth.
Okay.
Zac Efron plays Freddy. Amanda.
Of course he does.
Yeah, Amanda Seyfried. She plays Daphne. You know her from she's in Mean Girls. She's the girl who can tell what weather is by touching her boobs.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I've seen. She was in Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Kiersey is a weird name. Kiersey Clemens. She's in Neighbors 2, Flatliner, Sweetheart. She's in like
isn't she in No, I'm tripping. In that show.
All right, anyway, Ken Jeong, Tracy Morgan.
Who's Tracy Morgan?
Is captain. He plays Captain somebody. I don't know.
I'm gonna watch this shit, dude.
Frank Welker plays Scooby Doo. Young Shaggy, Young Fred. Simon Cowell is in it.
Who plays Scooby Doo? Frank who?
So it's some guy who always plays him. It's like a comedy.
Oh, okay.
Christina Hendricks plays an officer. Henry Winkler is in it. Some guy named John DiMaggio who looks like a fat, alcoholic, bloated version of Sheamus from WWE. Just look at this blur. You could tell that's what he looks like.
Yeah, sure.
Kevin Heffernan, who plays Landfill, and he's in all the Super Troopers movies, like the Broken Lizard guy.
Yeah.
He's in it. Dude, Billy West, who does all the voices from like all the Nickelodeon cartoons, like Ren and Stimpy and all that shit.
Yeah.
Pretty much like every famous voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like random fucking big name actors in the Scooby-Doo movie.
Wow, man.
So Scoob. I don't know.
Sounds like it's getting the Lion King treatment.
Yeah. Fuck. Well, that's the whole thing, man. Like now.
Did they get is Beyonce in it?
No, thank God.
I'm shocked.
But now though, like I watched a whole YouTube video about how like back in the day, cartoon movies were usually like B actors to really push the cartoon and the story, and it was just all about the animation and the story. And then when Aladdin was made, the people who drew the genie with Robin Williams in mind.
Okay.
And so they died to get Robin Williams to do the movie, and it was basically written for him. And once he saw the animation, he was like, "I'll definitely do it. I'm just doing Ferngully right now." And so it was like a whole thing because he was doing Ferngully, and Disney didn't want to do Ferngully, but Ferngully was his passion project because he's all about the environment because Robin Williams is the best. And then so after the success of like the huge success of Aladdin, Disney's like, well, we got to get huge actors to be in all of our cartoon movies. So that's why in every Disney movie after Aladdin, Mulan has like a sidekick played by a dragon. The Hunchback of Notre Dame has like the little weird like goat guy played by Danny DeVito. And, like all these movies had like a sidekick that was played by a major actor.
Right.
And then after that, then came Shrek, which was like every huge star ever. You know,
Yeah.
And now even movies like that now it's like Angry Birds. It's like Tracy Morgan, Beyonce. Like it's all these cartoon movies are only being sold because of the huge cast in it. It has nothing to do with the movie itself.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is because I feel like kids and shit like that are not interested in shit like that anymore. But parents are like, oh, we should take our son to see it because fucking Jack Black is doing the voice of the Sparrow. You know what I mean?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Because like fucking what movie got released recently? Besides Scoob, there was like another cartoon movie. Oh, the Trolls movie. So Trolls came out, and that movie was like huge for parents right now because all their kids are stuck at home. So they paid for it like 14 times to rent it, and then bought it on a streaming device. So like, little kids like cartoon movies. Like they're
Do they really?
Yeah.
I feel like movies and shit for kids are dead. I feel like kids just want to watch like fucking
boxing videos,
stupid shit on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, by the way, I know we've mentioned a few times on the show. This week's episode of AEW Dark is fucking great.
Is it? Like, I didn't really watch it, but I know that Dark's been longer.
This one's real long, but usually Dark it's like all job matches.
Yeah. And
this one is like kind of the same, but like the matches are really good and quicker. Right. You know.
Well, speaking of, shall we move into the weekend wrestling? Because there's so much wrestling.
Should we move into wrestling? Yeah.
Yeah. Should we kick it off with the last ride though? Because that's kind of like also like TV movie related.
Oh well, before we jump into anything wrestling, Hana Kimura passed away.
Ah, yes, tragic.
So Hana Kimura was a Japanese wrestler. She was 22 years old. She was a star of a reality show on Netflix called Terrace House, which I'm not sure if it's on Netflix in America. But
I don't know.
But she was on that show. She was bullied by internet hecklers and trolls, and basically she committed self-harm and she committed suicide, sadly. It was a crazy week in wrestling deaths last week with Chad Gaspard, Larry Zonka, Kimura, just a shitty week. But
shitty week.
we didn't want to start wrestling without mentioning them, you know.
Yeah. Point being, don't be shitty to each other on the internet when you can just be not shitty.
Yeah, 100% agree.
So yeah, that's big rip for the lost pro wrestlers this week. So Mike Terry, Last Ride, episode 3, chapter 3. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's basically about Undertaker being a drug addict.
Wrestling is the drug, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, what?
It's clear that, like, and it gets fucking danced around that they don't fucking mention the reason why that they went to Saudi Arabia and why they
of course.
Like, because they were asked to do so by Vince McMahon. He didn't want to do that. I'm sure he was down to do it. But, like, Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement, there must have been some heavy-duty shit going on for all these people to get involved.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting, though, that a big focus about this episode was going back in time. Like, I thought they were clearly, like, just going in time with, like, timeline of, like, from when the series started to, like, where he was in his career to, like, working his way up till now. And this episode, I thought it was interesting that they took a step back in his career and focused more on his WrestleMania 25 match and basically how that match and his match at WrestleMania 26 against Shawn Michaels, like, they were comparing it to that Shawn Michaels got closure in his career.
Yes.
And where Undertaker, like, probably should have called it quits with the Triple H match.
100%.
And basically he's been, like, trying to chase a dragon ever since.
100%.
Things after things, which is, like, basically what us as fans have been saying. You know?
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, I remember watching Undertaker matches as far back as 10 years ago and thinking, like, that sucked. You know what I mean? But, like, and like, there was a time after the Shawn Michaels matches, the Shawn Michaels and the Triple H were his last string of really good matches. I thought I didn't really like the Hell in the Cell match with him and Triple H. I kind of felt like that was a shitty match, too. But it was from that era of time where, like, those were his last, like, great matches. Even before that shit, there were some, like, iffy Undertaker matches. You know what I mean?
He was having, like, a lot of shitty matches on, like, SmackDown.
Yeah, where it's like you never knew what you were going to get with him. Where it's like, is he going to be on or is he going to be off? You know what I mean? And, you know, I think...
Which, by watching the documentary, you kind of learned a lot of that had to do with his injuries and his mobility.
Definitely. He needed a hip replacement and shit like that. 2 of them. And so, it's one of those things...
I got to fucking landscapers are here, like, every day. Can you hear that or no?
Barely. It's fine.
Okay.
No, I don't hear anything now. So it's just one of those things like, dude, yeah, he should have retired 12 years ago. And he's, like you said, he's chasing something he'll never be able to reach. And so the second half, I realized the reason why they told the story of the Shawn Michaels and then Triple H matches at WrestleMania were because it was to give context to the matches with Triple H in Australia and then the match in Saudi Arabia with Kane versus Shawn Michaels and Triple H and the debacle that was that match. Oh my God.
Yeah, I kind of refused to watch the Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Undertaker, Kane match because I am such a huge Shawn Michaels fan. I was kind of really disappointed that he came out of
retirement
for that.
Yeah.
When there was rumors for so long that he was going to come out for somebody like Daniel Bryan. Hold on a second, I got to close this thing.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, and that was an absolute fucking debacle. Like it was 4 guys that just like should not be wrestling because they're just too old and they all should be retired. And it was a sloppy match. Guys could have got seriously fucking hurt. And so like more than anything, it's fucking dangerous to have these guys that haven't wrestled in years that are just getting in the ring and just like having a go at it, and and then the same thing, like episode 4, they said was going to be about the Goldberg match, which was even fucking bigger debacle than the tag team match in Saudi Arabia. The Goldberg match at the next Saudi Arabia pay-per-view was fucking terrifying. Undertaker got dropped on his head, almost broke his neck. Goldberg got it was bad, dude. It was
right. But now I'm wondering if this documentary is basically leading to who is good enough to have one great match with Undertaker,
right?
Because the thing that they talk about, and I don't know if you said it when I got up, was his match with John Cena was fine, but it was too short.
Yes.
He was finally feeling good, but he said the same thing. The story wasn't there. He has a story with Shawn Michaels. He had a story with Triple H. He doesn't have a story with any of these guys.
No.
So there needs to be some sort of storyline to really shut it down.
Well, and I think the same problem with AJ Styles. There's no story with AJ Styles. Why the fuck is he wrestling AJ Styles? And obviously that this year, this is exactly the story that's going to be told in episode 5 with the Boneyard match is okay, yeah, the Boneyard match was great, but it ain't wrestling. You know what I mean? So they know the Undertaker's going to want to have one more match after that. And I think the only person
he'll be I know it it was really good because I got to do it, and now I know that my career could go on as long as I wanted to with these cinematic matches.
Right.
But it ain't wrestling. And Michelle, she's not happy to hear that.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I think the only person that they could, because he had.
But you could also tell though that their marriage was fucking on the line because. He said something things personally weren't good at home. Which is by her being you're not wrestling anymore.
And she's probably mad as fuck that he's going to Saudi Arabia too. You know what I mean? That's what it was. So I think, and I've said this before, and I've said it a million times, but I think the only good way to end that dude's career is for him to pass the torch down to the Fiend, dude. Because if you think about it like this.
Or to Aleister Black.
Or Aleister Black or The Fiend. One or the other. Somebody much younger. AJ Styles, that guy's way past his prime too. I mean, look, AJ Styles is great, but he's in his fucking 40s. He needs to pass it down to somebody
How old is Bray Wyatt?
30s.
Yeah?
Let's see.
I bet you he's probably younger than...
Bray Wyatt's 33. Right. So somebody like that, dude. Somebody that's about to enter their prime. You know what I mean? And someone I say Bray Wyatt because the Fiend gimmick. Bray Wyatt's the only guy that's had
he's sorry. Aleister Black is older. He's 35.
No shit. That's crazy. I think that Bray Wyatt...
Oh, happy birthday. Aleister Black's birthday was 2 days ago.
No kidding.
Sorry.
I think it needs to be Bray Wyatt because that's the only guy that's gotten over a supernatural gimmick since Kane. Think of one good supernatural gimmick in the WWE since Kane. There hasn't been one.
No.
Not a single one. Stardust? No. You know what I mean?
The Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman, right. Exactly. And so the Fiend is the only one, dude. And so it's only appropriate for Undertaker to pass the torch to him. He's their top merch seller. He's the top merch seller in the company. Why not him?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Dude, I think they like the Fiend. I don't see... I mean, we're going to see it's clear. It's clear because of this Undertaker documentary that we're going to get another Undertaker match. I think. It might be called The Last Ride because, this is the last one that's coming. No matter what, it's the last one. And I think that's how the documentary is going to end. It's not going to end with him, having the match. I think that this documentary ends with him saying, whatever the next one is the last one.
It has to.
It'll be him announcing his official last WrestleMania match, at the end of this documentary. Ahead. I think that's what it'll be. And it'll get way too built up, and it'll never be what anybody wants it to be. Especially for him. And he'll just have to learn to live with it. And I think that's what it's going to be.
Big disappointment about this episode. I'll say straight off the bat, I didn't think this episode was nearly as good as episode 1 or 2.
Dude, what's cool about this episode though?
It was a cool episode.
Did you know there's an after show?
No.
So there's an after show where they interview somebody from the episode. And
There's
go
always
deeper.
something else with WWE. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, it's everybody has an after show now.
Yeah.
Like all the Dark Side of the Rings had after shows, and they were really good. But they did an after show where these two guys interviewed Shawn Michaels for like a half an hour.
No shit.
And it was just talking about his chemistry with The Undertaker and just the whole thing. But I think the after show was actually really interesting because it kind of delved a little bit deeper into like the main themes of the episode, which is like when, retiring and chasing the dragon. Like Shawn Michaels talks about it like a drug big time.
Right.
For The Undertaker. Right. He's like, and Shawn Michaels makes a really good point. He's like, if you're not happy with being home with your family or like moving on to that next chapter of like loving your family and spending time with your kids and raising your kids and doing all the things that you didn't do while you're on the road, then you're never going to be happy with like the way your career ended. Like like you're never going to be happy with retirement because you're not happy at home. Like so you got to make sure you really enjoy, like you're ready to like go home and do those things and be the best you can at those things before you could just retire. And I bet you The Undertaker isn't like fucking like that much of like a home dude. Like he's just like, he doesn't come off like, when I see The Undertaker, I don't see dad. Like, like I don't see him being a great dad. I don't think he's a bad dad. I just think he's probably not like the most like, like great at being a father dad. And not like, and that means like, I don't even know what that means. Not that he doesn't.
His head's not in it. His head's in the ring.
Yeah. I think he's very much into his career and being the guy on the road and the guy who likes to play cards with his friends and just like, being in the business. I don't see him as like the stay-at-home dad kind of guy, and not and that there's nothing wrong with that. I just think his wife is really good at it. I think he is okay with I think he's just not. His mind isn't there. His mind is other places. His mind is in the ring, dude. I could be wrong. It just came off.
Maybe they don't show a lot of his.
It came off that way.
Yeah, like they don't show a lot of like the family stuff. I mean, they show stuff with him and Michelle McCool for sure, but not like with the kids. They don't show the kids a lot, so you don't really know. I'm not saying he doesn't love his kids. Of course. Oh no. I know. I 100% understand where you're coming from. So that said, the biggest disappointment of this whole thing was that the next episode isn't coming until June 14th. What the fuck?
Dude, June 14th is like 2 weeks away.
I know, but that's a long time. So, anyway, big wrestling thing. Double or Nothing, baby. What did you think?
So I didn't get to watch Double or Nothing, AEW's Double or Nothing until Monday night. I was away with no service. So I watched it. I tried paying for it, and it just didn't work.
Same.
So I wound up just finding it on a website. It was 3 days later, so it was easy. I feel bad because I wanted to support them, but I just couldn't figure out how to pay for it.
I'll say it. I pirated the shit out of AEW Double or Nothing because there's not a cheap way to do it. I'm not paying $40 for a fucking TV show in 2020.
$50.
I'm not paying $50 to watch something. You know what I mean? And I think it's bullshit that the foreign broadcast, the European broadcast on Fight TV is fucking $20 and the American version is $50. What the fuck?
So here's what happened. And this is what happened. So I found the Fight TV and I logged into my Fight TV account because I have one from some other time that I ordered something from them. And I went to go buy it, but the Fire Stick that's in my living room is signed into is Maggie's Fire Stick, and it's signed into her Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So it wanted me to log into her Prime account through Fight TV to pay for it. So
okay.
I don't know Maggie's Prime password, and she was in bed, and because she had work the next day. It was like 10 p.m. So I wasn't going to wake her up and be like, hey, not only are you going to be mad about me waking you up to ask you what your password is for this, but you're going to be mad that I'm spending $20 on wrestling.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it. It's like, that's why I said fuck it. I was like, I tried. I tried to do the right thing. And then when it came down to sometimes when you're in a relationship and you share money or you share bills and stuff like that, so especially when somebody's working in the hospital during a pandemic and you're sitting at home collecting unemployment, there's certain battles that you're willing to pick. And one at 10 o'clock at night after driving 6 hours home from vacation for the weekend, after she's going back into the hospital work, It was not a battle I was going anywhere near.
Right.
I was like, fuck it. And I found it. I found one whole
That's
link
fine.
in HD.
Dude.
You know, I bought an AEW gear. I went to the first show. You know, like I'm happy to give the money, and I have no problem paying for pay-per-views. Like if I'm watching it with friends who are coming over and people are going to bring beer or food or split the costs, like it's a little bit different. But by myself, $50.
That's too much, dude.
I don't make enough money. I get why my parents were so mad at me every month when I wanted them to pay $50 to watch a WWF.
It's so much money. But the thing is, in 2020, it's a dead business model. You know what I mean? It's like no, it's just dead.
It's not, man. It's not. You gotta see how much money they make. The UFC and all these people makes tons of money doing it.
I'm sure they don't, but their direct competition has a $10 subscription service. So it's like, what the fuck? I've been conditioned.
Yeah.
I've been conditioned to watch wrestling pay-per-views for free for fucking 10 years. I don't want to pay $50 to watch a 3-hour show. You know what I mean?
Would you pay 20?
I'd pay 10. I'd pay 10.
You would pay 10.
I'd pay 10 every month.
Would you pay 10 would you pay 15?
For every 3 months, like they're doing right now, I'd pay 15. For every month, I'd pay 10.
Right, so that's their argument, is that they're not doing pay-per-views all the time, so they can ask for that much money. Because if you think about it, Dan, if they're doing 4 pay-per-views a year at $150, or that would be 3. 4 would be $200. That's more than $10 a month, but it's less than $20 a month. So you're still paying that.
True.
It's just all in one lump.
True. I just think it's a little bit much for them to ask more than the WWE Network for one event, where for $10 a month you can get WWE's entire fucking library, plus fucking great documentaries like The Last Ride. You know what I'm saying?
But that's WWE's. I mean, WWE has a ton of great content on the network.
I know,
but it's definitely worth more than $10 a month. It's just, you know.
I know.
It's what they made. It's what they made it.
I know.
All, you know.
And I'm not saying like AEW has to acclimate to what WWE does, because
I mean that's like, you know, that's kind of like an industry trend. So like
I know.
So like WWE fucks the industry. It's the same thing when it comes to like bands selling T-shirts. I can only talk about it because it's something that I do. You know, if I sell a T-shirt for $20, you know, or $10. It's fucking over everybody who's, you know,
selling it for $35.
Yeah, you know, I should be selling it for whatever everybody sells things for, because then you're fucking up the market of things.
True.
Not, you know, it's kind of like how it works, you know.
True. No, that's fair. That's a fair point. For me personally, I just can't bear to do that. So like, I can't justify it. You know what I mean?
Also, until the main event, I don't think the show was worth $50.
I don't.
I know you liked it a lot.
I love this show.
Well, let's run it down.
Okay.
And we got our fucking
our
predictions where we were sorely wrong.
Oh yeah, but that's why I loved it so much, because we were fucking wrong for everything. I love that.
So let's bust it down. So the buy-in was what was the buy-in match? Oh, it was the Best Friends versus
with the Best Friends
versus Private Party. And what a great little opening buy-in match, or a great first match. And in typical AEW fashion with Private Party, the Private Party fucking they do too many moves and it doesn't mean anything sometimes. Because it doesn't look like they're ever hitting anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Private Party. I think they're great, but I think sometimes they do a little too much.
So we both had Private Party winning.
And that also extends over to being the Elite. Their segments are too long.
So Private Party.
So we were wrong on that one?
Best Friends. We both said Private Party. Because we were like, oh, they're returning. It makes sense. But really, it made sense for Best Friends because they've been there
the whole time.
And they've been building like the storyline up that they are
the next motherfuckers in line, yeah.
So if you use Grapple, which people in the chat, there's a great app called Grapple, Grappl. It's really, really fun to use. You can rate old wrestling matches, new wrestling matches. They have it down by, organization and event. So Grapple, out of 241 votes, This match got a 2.66 out of 5 stars.
It's okay.
I rated it 2.5 stars.
Nice.
I thought it was good. Wasn't great, but it was good. So then we get the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view starts. I thought it was really cool that right off the bat, we get a thank you to all the heroes, the essential workers, heroes. It's a terrible thing. We thank God nobody said in these uncertain times, which is like the number one catchphrase for everything right now. Is
I know. Uncertain times.
It's like the new thoughts and prayers. So we got like a thank you, just out of character, very clean, very cut. Like, hey, we're here to have some fun. This is what's been going on. Thanks for sticking with us. And we get to start the pay-per-view. We get Pyro. We get Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone. We got Excalibur. It's got a good vibe. We're off to the races. And I was not expecting the ladder match to be first.
I'm not surprised, but I'm also not surprised.
Right. So the ladder match we knew that there was a mystery person. I thought it was going to be Taz coming down with Jeff Cobb as the suplex machine because he's a suplex guy, and he's been there before. We haven't seen him since his Inner Circle thing. I thought it'd be a nice way to re-debut him. And because of Taz talking to Darby Allin and Darby Allin ignoring him, I was like, oh, this would be a perfect thing to have Taz be like a manager for whoever, is this mystery person. I was somehow correct that Taz was going to be there as a mystery person, but it wasn't Jeff Cobb. It was Brian Cage, the unbreakable fucking machine.
Who can stop the path of Cage?
I love Brian Cage. He's got this Terminator thing that he does sometimes because he's all about being a machine in the gym, and it's kind of like his gimmicky sort of thing. He's a great wrestler. I've been watching him in PWG for years. He could do lucha shit. Like, he is all over the place. I think I sent you a bunch of GIFs the other day of him just doing crazy shit in the ring.
Yeah.
He's great. I think it was cool to debut him in this. And Dan, you were right. Dan, you said that the mystery person would win the ladder match. I said Darby Allin just because it seemed like he was the only person I could see going for a title shot.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because Cage comes in kind of as a heel with Taz.
Yeah, if he's going up against Moxley, he's definitely going to be billed as the heel. You know what I mean?
And I think they announced that that's what the next pay-per-view is.
Yeah.
I think that, right? Did they say he was the main event for the next pay-per-view?
They said that it's going to happen at the next pay-per-view, but I wasn't sure. I don't know if it's going to be Fyter Fest or All Out because they kind of advertise.
Fyter Fest.
They advertise both. You know what I mean? But
I guess it's like if Fyter Fest happens.
It's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like it's going to happen. Interesting note that Tony Khan said after the show that Fyter Fest this year was actually supposed to be in London.
Oh.
But that obviously is not happening. But that's what their plan was.
Do they have a stake in Fyter Fest? Do they own part of it?
AEW?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's their pay-per-view.
No. So Fyter Fest is a weekend where there's like a video game.
Well, yeah, it's the whole thing that, you know what I mean? But the pay-per-view is an AEW. The actual show is still an AEW pay-per-view.
But Fyter Fest is just isn't it like an E3 kind of thing?
It's not real. It's a meme.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the whole thing was a meme that Kenny Omega made up last year.
No, but isn't it coincide with like C2E2?
Oh, maybe. There might have been some other thing that like...
Yeah, where they had that video game guy wrestle. You remember?
Oh, yeah, the Jabali. Yeah.
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 I think that's like an ongoing...
There might have been some kind of video game thing happening at that same weekend.
Okay.
But the actual wrestling event was just an AEW pay-per-view.
No, I got that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't don't remember what other event was happening. But
Okay, so Fyter Fest, maybe they'll have it. Let's talk about the match. I didn't love this ladder match. I thought it has a lot of cool things in it, but it felt very disjointed. It felt like 2 guys in the ring, 2 guys get out. 2 guys in the ring, 2 guys get out.
So
I think part of that was probably because Ray Phoenix was supposed to do a lot of things with people.
Yeah, they probably had a lot of spots planned there.
I knew he got fucking injured last week on Dynamite, dude.
That was a rough fall he took.
Yep. Yeah.
Orange Cassidy also took a bad spill that same match that Ray Phoenix got hurt. But hey, dude, this is the thing. This is what I did like about the match. The SCU tension. They started building a little tension between SCU. I like that. The other thing that I thought was fucking hilarious was the Orange Cassidy stuff, where he comes out, he goes right to the announcer table, and he says, "How do I win this match?" And they said, "You got to climb the ladder and grab the chip." And he goes, it's so good. And then I love how he set up the ladder. He laid the ladder flat and then stood on the ladder while it was flat and tried to get the belt, but he couldn't. It's so funny.
Dude, the thing with Orange Cassidy, and I was very upset when they signed him, and people were like, "This is not going to work." Like,
oh yeah,
like his character won't work. Like, he's a comedy wrestler. Like, we've seen comedy wrestlers before. We had Santino Marella, who was one of the better comedy wrestlers. We've seen comedy and wrestling before, and like.
D-Generation X. I mean, not that they were comedy in the ring, but they were comedy outside the ring. You know what I mean?
But like, you can get, if it's good, it can get over. And so,
oh fuck yeah, dude!
Which is the same reason of like, if you were to say that like Orange Cassidy won't work on TV, then so wouldn't Broken Matt Hardy.
Exactly.
Like anything that's different. I also thought, talking about comedy wrestlers, Cole Cabana didn't do anything really comedy in this. He was very much straightforward. I thought that spot where his fingers got caught in the ladder fucking was crazy. I thought Darby Allin was crazy in this ladder match. Very good. On Grapple, out of 500 votes, it's got a 3.13 out of 5.
That's pretty good.
Which I thought was fair. Like, as a ladder match, it's definitely not one of the most memorable ladder matches. It had a lot of crash and burns. I think a lot of it was to build up Brian Cage. And I thought, the right person won based on who was involved.
Right. So I thought it was the next match. What was the next one? Was the MJF match?
And just to speak on that again, something that WWE is afraid to do all the time.
Yeah.
They're putting the rocket on Brian Cage technically if he's getting a title match soon enough.
True.
So like WWE could take a lesson from AEW on how to build a character up. Look at even Lance Archer when we get to that match. That's somebody who debuted and was built up, in only a month and a half's time of being like a killer,
Yeah, true.
Okay, so next up, the next match we had was what's the next match?
MJF, right?
Is it MJF versus
Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy.
Yes.
What? I don't think we have this as like a.
It might not have been announced beforehand.
I guess it wasn't announced.
Or maybe they announced it after, because we did our.
There was a couple things that got announced after, but yes, MJF versus Jungle Boy. I enjoyed the shit out of this match. I thought it was one of the better matches of the night. Actually, I just watched the Jungle Boy match on Dark, where he did a bunch of crazy shit, and I think these guys had crazy good chemistry, and it showed that MJF can actually fucking wrestle, and he's not just a big mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was both of their best matches.
I felt differently about this match. I know you really liked it. I wasn't crazy about it. I didn't think it was a bad match by any means. I just thought it was like, I didn't see the point of it because there was just no build to it at all. There was
really no story. But
it felt to me like a random, like the way WWE will just have a random matchup of people for no reason. You know what I mean? Like there was no. Maybe there was like a little thing that happened on Dynamite on Wednesday or something.
Well,
but
you gotta
like,
start watching Dark, and you gotta start watching
stuff happens
the
on
Road
Dark.
to shows,
True.
like the Road to Dynamite, the road I know it's a smart thing and a not smart thing. Where AEW does a lot of stuff online only.
Yeah.
Like if you don't watch Being the Elite, if you don't watch Dark, if you don't watch like the Road to series, you can miss out on a lot of like little nuances and storylines.
Right.
Gotcha. And I get it. We live in a world where like the internet is a big part of it, but like, your main TV product should be where your main stories get told.
I agree 100%.
And so that is a story that didn't get really told on TV that led up to it.
Right.
That being said, match quality wise, it was one of the better matches of the night. I gave it a 3.75, and on Grapple out of 469 ratings, it also got an average score of 3.75.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool. And MJF won, right?
Yes.
Which makes sense. And it's funny though, because we usually get told that the heels will lose and still come out strong, and the heels win a lot of times.
And it was a clean win. Well, he kind of grabbed the ropes, I guess. So he was,
yeah. Well, he had like a kind of interesting.
In wrestling terms, if you land a pinfall, it's a clean win, right?
Right.
If you're a heel. So. Yeah, I thought it was an okay match. I just felt like I wish it had more build to it. What's next?
So next up we had it was supposed to be Britt Baker versus the Alien.
And then that turned into
Britt
Penelope.
Baker got injured, and it became the Alien versus
Penelope Cruz.
Penelope Cruz. Or Penelope Ford. You call her Penelope Cruz all the time.
It's okay,
kind of out
match.
of nowhere. Another thing that was just thrown together. It was okay. I think that people love Statlander. I don't get it. I think it's cool. She's different. I like that she has a different body type. I liked her dive in this match. It was fucking crazy. But I think she's sloppy in the ring.
Dude,
and Penelope Ford, I think, is a great character who is getting much better in the ring. Like, she reminds me of like a better Dana Brooke. The match was fine. I don't know who won. We both picked Britt Baker to win, even though she wasn't in the match.
Statlander won.
Statlander won, and this match got. I gave it a 2.5, and it got a 2.4.
It's so uncomfortable to hear JR talk about women wrestlers' bodies, dude. He's so awkward about it.
Why do you say she's like thick?
Yeah, he's just like that. Nah, I don't mean this in a misogynistic tone, but that is a big woman. Like, okay, Jim Ross.
I just finished JR's second book. It came out like on my birthday, like at the end of March.
Yeah.
And I finished it over the weekend. I cried my eyes out at the end.
Oh, well, he's had a rough go.
The last few months, the last year or two, he had a rough go with his wife dying and everything.
Yeah, that's hard.
But like he talks about like the end of the book ends with him like working for New Japan and doing their U.S. show, like calling it like their old Access TV show, and then that's how he met Tony Khan at a New Japan event in California, and then like how this whole thing happened, and it, like how like AEW kind of like saved his life pretty much.
Yeah, dude.
And like how he like
that's great.
You know, it was really good. It's really entertaining, and like a lot of the book is about his relationship with his wife. And I guess he wrote it after she died, so like that's probably why. Yeah. But it also talks about like his relationship with Vince McMahon and how they have he doesn't really know how Vince McMahon feels about him, because Vince McMahon will call him and text him when like the times are the worst, and then like berate him and treat him like shit all the time.
Yeah, McMahon's
like I didn't realize how many times that like Jim Ross was like made the butt of jokes on TV.
Oh, all the time, dude. He had to kiss Vince McMahon's ass on live TV.
There was a huge chapter about that also.
You know?
And so, really good book. It's called Under the Black Hat. Check it out. We were talking about Jim Ross just in the middle of that match. But next up, we had the finals of the TNT tournament with Cody Rhodes versus Lance Archer.
Biggest swerve of the night, dude. One of the big swerves of the night. I loved it.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the Arn Anderson and Jake Roberts stuff with this match.
Yes.
I thought things got a little overbooked in this pay-per-view at times.
Perhaps a little with Iron Mike, you know. Well,
Mike Tyson was useless. He was useless in this match.
Yeah.
Just things were overbooked. The same thing even with the ladder match. Other things happened, like so many run-ins and stuff. Like it gets a little much sometimes in AEW. Yeah. I think they almost run off the rails sometimes with it.
Sometimes.
This match was good. Who do we have?
We both had Lance.
And Metz came in with Cody.
Dude, I don't think anybody that actually watches AEW, I know Metz doesn't, would have predicted that Cody Rhodes was going to win this match, because we all know that he has stake in the company and he doesn't want to be booked. And I don't think anyone in the Elite wants to be booked too strong, because I don't think they want to come across as like Triple H. Specifically Cody Rhodes, right? Like, he doesn't want to book himself to win every time because he doesn't want to look like he's on a power trip. You know what I mean? That's why he's lost to MJF. That's why he lost to Jericho, where he said he would never challenge for the AEW championship ever again if he loses the match, and he lost it. So when this match rolled around, I think, and especially because the way Lance Archer was brought in as this mega heel from New Japan with Jake the Snake Roberts as his manager, you said it yourself last week on the cast. You don't bring in somebody and then book him with Jake the Snake Roberts to have him lose, right?
Right.
Well, they fucking said, "Fuck you guys, you're all wrong," and Cody Rhodes is gonna win. And like,
right, but you know what? And it doesn't really ruin Lance Archer because because he's gonna fucking murder a bunch of people in the next.
He's the murder hawk, and everybody dies, dude. He's gonna go on a tear from now on for the next. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he'll be fine.
And I cannot wait, because they haven't done it yet in AEW, where they have a big dude against a big dude, and we're gonna get Lance Archer versus fucking Luchasaurus eventually, and it's gonna be fucking crazy.
Yes, that'll be nuts.
So Grapple gave it. I gave it a 3.25. Grapple 3.08 out of 5. It was solid.
I love it. Real quick,
after that. Oh yeah.
Real quick.
Sorry.
I love the Cody Rhodes Sting, the little call out to Sting, the woo, and then he did the Stinger splash. That was great.
Oh yeah.
That was great.
The match was good.
Also, one side thing. I know there's a lot of rumors about Sting, not his contract with WWE not getting re-signed, and him possibly, being pursued by AEW. Dude, just tell me this. Could you imagine if Sting showed up maybe as Cody Rhodes' manager for a little while, and Cody Rhodes put on the Sting paint, dude?
Oh man,
dude, he's got the same hair as old school Sting, dude.
He doesn't need any more face paint. He just starts.
Dude, I'm just saying, dude. It would be fucking crazy if he came out with Sting and Sting was like Crow Sting and he was like old school
it's
Sting.
It's very tough, man. We're getting into awkward waters here with Lance Archer having Jake the Snake, Cody having Arn Anderson, now Taz with fucking somebody like. We can only have so many old school.
They're giving these old timers work, man. They're giving all these old timers work.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's only good if it's going to actually help out somebody. Yeah. And I don't think Sting is a great manager.
Well, if they brought him in like Diamond Dallas Page, you know what I mean? Had him for like make an appearance or two here or there.
Oh, sure,
just to build up a match. To build up a match.
Like in a corner kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so after that, we got the commercial for the new AEW toys. They look cool. I mean, Cody's is missing his stupid neck tattoo, but they still look cool. I think right now we're at the 1 year mark of when AEW was announced and that they had a TV deal and all that stuff.
Oh wow!
People were getting signed. I don't know if they announced a TV deal yet, but right now, like they started signing people. So if we have a year later, we're getting toys. I'd say by next, maybe because of Corona, it's a little different. But I would say 6 months from now, 6 to 7 months, I wouldn't be surprised if we get the video game announcement.
Could be.
Maybe like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then after the Cody match, we kind of did things out of order. We had Statlander versus Penelope Ford. Dustin Rhodes versus Shawn Spears. This was stupid.
Throwaway.
It was throwaway.
Time filler.
It was. I gave it 1 star.
Yeah.
It got 1.9. We don't even have to talk about it. It was, just like JR said on Dynamite when they announced it. He was like, "Because why the hell not?" But
yeah.
Like, literally, that's why not.
Pointless. Just to remind people that Shawn Spears exists. Anyway, go ahead.
I think the match of the night was Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida.
100%. It's actually, you know what? There was a lot of matches, and it's easy to forget because Revolution was all the way back in January, and there's been a lot of wrestling that's happened since then.
We had this argument because you were like, "This is the match of the year," and there's been a lot of. There was good matches in January, but there hasn't been anything since then.
Right. For me, this is my match of the year. This is my straight 1v1 match because, dude, you had the Young Bucks match with Young Bucks versus Hangman and Kenny Omega back at Revolution. Yeah. That was a fucking amazing match.
This is by far the best match with no fans.
Best no fan match for sure. Best 1v1 match of the year for me, in my opinion. I can't think of a better one. Damn, and they gave the belt to Hikaru Shida, second swerve of the night. I thought there was no chance.
Said Nyla. We said both Nyla.
Yeah, dude, because listen, when Nyla Rose took that title off of Riho, sorry, they made it really sound like this was going to be a long title run and nobody was going to take this title off her for a long ass time because she's the biggest, she's the baddest in AEW and no one can touch her. Lo and behold, the next pay-per-view, here we are, Hikaru Shida fucking takes the title right off of her. And this is why I love AEW, because no one really deserved that title more than Hikaru Shida. No one, before the coronavirus, no one was over with the crowd like Hikaru Shida. They needed to put the title on her, and they needed to put the title on her now to capitalize on her success before it's too late. Like WWE does all the time. They miss the boat on people that get over, and then it's too late for them to do it. Like Braun Strowman is the prime example, and now it looks ridiculous that he's the champion 2 years too late. Anyway, it's here nor there.
Yes, you are 100%. They pulled the trigger on it, and after they knew when to do it because she might not get like. She's getting hot right now when it's kind of hard to tell if somebody's over or not.
Right.
Because like there's no real reaction. But
right.
She definitely seemed deserving of it. And, Nyla Rose, she held the belt for a while. And because she was so dominant and because of her great promo where she's like, I'm going to be a one-time champion.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna lose it again, ever. Like you were never thought that she would lose. I'm actually when we finish podcasting, I might just throw that match on again and watch.
Great match, dude. Great match. And
so we both had Nyla Rose winning. Sheeta won. I gave the match a 3.75 out of 5, and it got an average rating of 3.64. So it was the best. And you know what? I thought it had a good amount of time too. I feel like sometimes with AEW, some matches go a little too long.
So yeah, sometimes like 35 minutes can be too long. Sometimes, you know,
some things go a little short. Sometimes, like I think this match had a good amount of time. It could have went a little bit longer because I was enjoying it so much, but I don't think it needed to.
No.
And I think that it was good. And next up, we had the championship match: Jon Moxley versus Brody Lee.
What a pleasant surprise this match was, dude.
I did not think this match was going to be as good as it was.
I had no expectations.
Both their styles, I like Jon Moxley, but he has kind of the same match with everybody.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? Like, I'm starting to respect him more.
He always makes it a little. Well, he makes it special somehow.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, and I'll tell you what, I didn't really like.
Jon Moxley would have been perfect in the 1998 WWF when like every match went into the crowd and was like that was that type of match.
Like in WWE. When he was Dean Ambrose, I did not respect him in the ring. I thought that kind of thing he did where he would like do that little like he'd come off the ropes, he'd come off the second ropes. I always thought that was stupid. I didn't really like his in-ring style. The Dirty Deeds I didn't like, and it turns out that the only reason I didn't like that move was because it had a stupid name. And now I like the finisher move. And what's it called now? The fucking paradigm shift? Now it's a cool finisher.
Yeah, but he also does it a little bit different. He kind of like slows it down.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's something about when he came to AEW, it's just his energy. I think a big part of it's his entrance in the theme song. It's just got some... It's just got this energy that he did not have in WWE. And I think I'm starting to actually really respect that guy as somebody that can not only have a really good match, but he can be the guy that makes a match really good. Like when he wrestled Kenny Omega, that was a fantastic match. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, oh, it was only so good because it was Kenny Omega. Brody Lee's really good in the ring, but I think this match was good because Jon Moxley made it good. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, anyway, that's my take. I loved it.
What do you think of Brody Lee?
I think the character sucks, but I think he had a really good match with Jon Moxley.
I agree. This match, I gave it... I just lost it, motherfucker. Found it right here. I gave it 3.75 out of 5. It got a 3.75.
All right.
So, it was awesome. It was good. I think it's crazy that they went through the fucking ramp because it's real dangerous. And everybody was walking out on that ramp all night. So, like, you had to be... I don't know how gimmicked it was.
They could have filmed it separately or something like that. You know what I mean?
And you know what? Brody Lee lost, and he's still a leader of a cult, and he did, and they protected him as best as possible. He didn't get pinned; he passed out.
Yeah.
You know. So next up was the main event, which was the Stampede match, the Stadium Stampede match. It took place inside the Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium. It was fucking crazy. They had the end zones with Inner Circle and the Elite. They had the Jacksonville Jaguars fucking cheerleaders there. We get the cinematic plus wrestling match possible. Everything that we dreamed the Money in the Bank match was going to be was this match and more. Yeah. This is by far the best pandemic cinematic match of so far.
100%.
Not like Nyla Rose and Sheeta like wrestling match.
Yeah. This is the best cinematic experience.
It was funny. I was never bored. It was over the top. It was ridiculous. It was serious. And yeah, there was a winner. I wouldn't say that their feud is over with, but they definitely can put the feud on hold for a little bit. The Inner Circle and the Elite. And I think that the Inner Circle should start like fucking with different people.
Definitely.
Or things should start like, the story should kind of shift somewhere else. Because I think it was kind of a good idea for a blow off. This match was long. It was like,
and then they can bring it back with blood and guts down the line when the crowd comes back. You know what I mean?
Exactly. This match was long. It was like 40 minutes long. I think it deserved the time. It was so much fun. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
And Grapple out of 459 votes from users, it got a 4.41. So people were kind of all in the same boat that it was super entertaining. I mean, just funny, thought out. Like, it was taped the day before, so it wasn't live. When everything else was live, this was taped earlier, but that didn't ruin anything at all. It was definitely, if I had to pick out my favorite part of it, I couldn't, because there was so many good things about it.
Yeah.
And callbacks and just all sorts of things.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great, dude. And I don't know, like, even just like something as simple as the moment between like Aubrey Edwards and Jericho, where like he was like, "You're a shit referee." Like it was just so good.
Yeah, and like they all had numbers that represented something. Like the Inner Circle jerseys, was out of all the things that AEW merchandises, I'm shocked that hasn't been like a thing yet. Like, I'm shocked.
Yeah, it will be. Come out. You know they will be Wednesday tonight, later on Dynamite.
We'll see.
But next week they gotta manufacture them. So I loved it, man. And I think if I had to pick out one thing about this match that I like the most is, and also this extends to Being the Elite, which was aired on YouTube, which got put up on YouTube yesterday. This match and Being the Elite this week, I saw as a return to form for the broken Matt Hardy character, because to this point in AEW, I'm not going to say that the character's been a wash, but he's kind of just like, okay, what is this? We know he's got the thing going on where he shifts between gimmicks. He goes from V1 Matt Hardy to Big Money Matt to fucking Hardy Boys Matt Hardy, back to broken Matt Hardy, Damascus, you know what I mean? And it's like, it doesn't have much direction to it, you know what I mean? And then when he is broken Matt and he's on the microphone in a promo against Jericho or something like that, it just lacks the comedy that was there. You know what I mean? He's just angry. He's angry Matt Hardy. But why? We don't know why. And now they're kind of injecting a little bit of humor back into it. He's got his new drone. He's got Neo 1. You know what I mean? Neo, I knew you'd come. And all the stuff that he did with Ortiz and Santana, with the pool and the wheelchair and the ice machine, it was all fucking fantastic. And so that is my favorite thing that I had to pick out from this, was this seemed like a return to form for the broken Matt character. And at least that's what it felt like.
I think so too. I thought it was it was pretty good.
And also the craziest spot was when Kenny Omega got put through that motherfucking that railing, dude. Holy shit. Not the railing. You know what I'm talking about? Like the crowd protect the crowd thing. The steel grate, when they put that on the two tables and they powerbomb Kenny Omega through that shit. Oh my god, that was crazy.
The whole thing was crazy.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
I loved
it. So that was Dynamite. Not Dynamite. That was Double or Nothing. If we're talking about the future, if we're talking about tonight, what's going on AEW, we got. I'm going to run down the card for tonight, because people who are watching this, if you were people who are in the chat or listening to this on Friday, go back and watch Dynamite. Try to watch AEW Dynamite. I'm telling you, if you're not a wrestling fan, you might become a fan just based on how much fun and different it is.
Yeah.
So we have Joey Janela and Private Party versus Matt Hardy and the Young Bucks. So the Young Bucks then return to Dynamite. That'll be fun.
The Young Bucks are going to get their revenge for Private Party taking so much of a time slot on Being the Elite.
John Moxley to appear. Hikaru Shida is in action. Brian Cage makes his AEW debut. Inner Circle pep rally. Mike Tyson to appear.
Whoa!
Britt Baker to provide an injury update. And there will be a battle royal to determine the number one contender for the TNT Championship.
Stacked night. I love it.
And details on this year's Fyter Fest.
Oh, hell yeah.
Also, we're being told that MJF is now the number one top-ranked person in AEW.
Okay.
So that's pretty interesting here. I had something else here too. For NXT, NXT's the big thing tonight is there is a crazy scaffold cage match.
Oh, fuck.
Between Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher.
Oh, isn't this supposed to be Matt Riddle's last match?
Yeah, so it's going to be fucking crazy.
Did you say scaffold like the New Jack match?
It looks like a scaffold
around. Oh, no.
It looks like a scaffold around a and they got that plexiglass up too. It looks fucking weird.
Shit.
Yeah, so I think this is Matt Riddle, his swan song from
NXT. Yeah,
Yeah.
supposedly going up to SmackDown. Speaking of WWE, hey, you know what? I gotta call it like I see it. I try not to have too much of a bias towards AEW. I know we do. We shit on WWE a lot, and we criticize WWE a lot because they have such a magnifying glass under them. And honestly, when they do something good, I gotta say it's good too. Raw was actually good this week. I'll give it to them. They've been, it was a good Raw.
Oh yeah. So the NXT preview for tonight quickly. So NXT is building for NXT Takeover in Your House, which they're bringing back the In Your House brand for NXT Takeover. Adam Cole celebrates 1 year as NXT champion with a live negotiation with William Regal. Charlotte Flair and somebody to be determined versus Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley. The interim WWE NXT Cruiserweight title tournament. Kushida versus Drake Maverick versus Jake Atlas. And then the cage fight, Matt Riddle versus Timothy Thatcher with Kurt Angle as a special guest referee.
Interesting that two of those people are released. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's so fucked up because WWE, you get paid for your 90-day no-compete clause, and WWE can still use you as much as they want. So I think it's so fucked up that they're still using Drake Maverick and now Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Whatever. Although I don't think Drake Maverick is really released. I think this is a work.
You think?
I think it caused too much of a stir on the internet, and they're going to rehire him.
Well, yeah. You saw that they rehired, what's his name?
Well, I think he's going to win the tournament.
What's his name got fired and rehired? Like his contract ran out, and then they re-signed him.
Gulak?
Yeah.
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 Anyway. So, cool, man. Well, it sounds like we got a stacked night and stacked Wednesday.
Wait. Some more news is just popping up. There's so much popping out here. Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, triple whammy, is being set for sale for the third time. It's going to happen February 1st through 5th. There's going to be live podcasts, musical talent, and it hasn't been announced who the bands are yet. But there was rumor last time that Godsmack and Rise Against were playing. I don't know if they are this anymore, but I'm sure they're going to have a ton of AEW tapings and shit on that. So if you feel like going on a cruise after all this, go for it, not me. And I think that's it. I thought there was something else, some other news I wanted to drop, but that's all I got.
I don't know, man. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I mean, we had a pretty stacked show.
Stacked show. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I am Dr. I guess we'll wrap it up, right? I'm Dr. Dan,
up, baby.
the man, joined by Mike Terry every Wednesday live on twitch.tv/man_Deronius. Of course, you can catch us live at around 1 p.m., but look for the go live tweets if you want to really know when to get the fuck in here, because sometimes we get on a little early and sometimes we get on a little late. But one thing you can guarantee is that by Friday, the audio version and YouTube video version will be up at some point during the day on Friday or Friday evening. Or no, even before. Sometimes I put them up late Thursdays. And you can catch all that stuff at Facebook.com/RudeDudeCast. What is it? Twitter and Instagram at The Rude
TheRudeDudeCast.
Yeah.
Please give our Instagram a follow. I've been trying to do more on it and just show some love, baby.
Yep.
Dude, thanks so much. This week was the first time in 3 weeks where we didn't have any technical problems. So
it's a good episode.
Microphone's back. Zoom is back in action. Fuck you, Discord.
Yep.
Never see you again.
It's a good app.
and we appreciate you taking your time with us on this here Wednesday afternoon. We'll catch you every Wednesday around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Find it on YouTube. Tell your friends, please, and enjoy the rest of today's stream with Mandy playing some games. What are you going to play?
I don't know, man. There's I forgot what the game is called. I downloaded some demo for a game I'm going to play. I don't remember what it's called, though.
Cool.
That's it, babies. See you next time. Deuces and gooses.
And gooses, brother.
Okay, good episode.
Hell yeah.
All right, now I can turn the fucking AC on. Holy shit.